The introduction scene of our film is almost identical to the introduction of the book. I fell in love with the book from the first page, and I wanted to recreate the feeling and the rhythmic essence of Justin's writing. And so we worked very hard to create that. We the Animals, Justin will say, or has told me many times, it's about reclaiming a derogatory term. It's something we do a lot in America, where somebody uses words against us and we reclaim them to empower ourselves. So animals is what his family was called when they were young. And so he reclaims that title as something of power and vitality. Justin wanted the book to be a movie. He was excited about the possibility of it being a movie. He'd only been approached by people with very crazy ideas about how to turn the book into a movie. They wanted to make like sitcoms or very strange, large Hollywood movies. And he's a very intuitive, very brilliant guy. And so he understood that what the movie could be was a movie like this. And so when I proposed that to him, he was much more amenable to that idea than the other ones. It was important to understand what was going on in the boy's mind without him telling you what was going on in his mind, and you could understand it through the drawings he was creating and watching them come to life. The animated sequences are done by a guy named Mark Samsonovich. He was the illustrator. He had never animated before, but I had done a lot of animation in other films that I'd made, and so I taught him to animate, and over the year he animated Jonah's drawings. All of them are hand-drawn and photographed in the old style of line-drawn animation. It's sort of a combination between Czech animation and this famous Renoir film with Picasso. We sort of blended them together so that you could understand what it was like to watch a boy create. They're not viewing it the way they'd view a normal story, linearly. They're viewing things in the movie through the eyes of the child and through the memory of the child and through the dreams of the child. And sometimes that's disorienting because they have to position themselves in the life, the emotional life and in the literal life of a young boy. Josiah, Isaiah, and Evan were cast over a year and a half. We saw 1,000 young men all over New York City, Philadelphia, and upstate New York. These three were magic. And they worked together with an acting coach named Noel Gentile and Dan Katrosa, my co-screenwriter, to begin to learn how to become actors. They'd never rehearsed the actual script. They only rehearsed scenes around the ideas that were in the script. And so that when they got on set, they were fresh, but they were also clear about what they had to do. And We the Animals is heavily influenced by documentary American photography, the work of Brenda Ann Keneally, Eugene Richards, Mary Ellen Mark, and Bruce Davidson. And a lot of the color photography from the 80s, flash photography, 70s and 90s, that sort of hyper-real, nostalgic feeling of America that we wanted to create. Part of that was deciding early on to shoot on 16, Super 16. We wanted to see the grain, like you can see in the poster behind me. You wanted to see the thickness and the quality of the material that we were shooting on. When you film things on an iPhone like this, or on a digital camera, that there's a crispness that is missing from images of the past, and we wanted to capture that feeling of images of the past. I mean, I love movie theaters. I don't actually own a television. I only go to the movies. I love going to the movies. I used to go see 5 movies a week, but now I have a 4-year-old son, so if I'm lucky I can see one. But there's nothing better than feeling the lights go down in a movie theater and sitting there and watching a film. It's a religious experience, I think. It's our modern version of a church or a temple.